A Christian doctor who lost his job at the Department for Work and Pensions over his stance on transgender pronouns has been vindicated by the General Medical Council. The doctor lost his legal action against the DWP for religious discrimination, but is planning to apply to the ECHR for a ruling on the case. But the GMC recently found that his views do not constitute an issue requiring further GMC action being taken with a view to removing or restricting his registration. So joining me now to discuss this is the man himself, Dr. David Mackereth. Dr. Mackereth, thank you very much for joining us. Can we start off by just laying it out there what the DWP claims you resigned from your post for, and did you resign, or did you lose your job another way?
Well, I'm quite certain, Calvin, and it's an absolute pleasure to meet you, by the way, but I'm quite certain that I didn't jump, I was pushed, that I was fired. But we're all agreed that the Department for Work and Pensions said that because of my refusal to use transgender pronouns, I was unfit to do the job. My maintenance is that I was a good doctor, I was fit to do the job, and that what I was saying was said in good conscience and from a Christian conscience. And of course, that led to court cases.
It's shocking to me that they somehow seem to presume that you have to have compelled speech in order to do your job as a doctor. How does that relate to you in your day-to-day work? How would it affect you?
Well, again, the thing there was that they were prepared to say, for the sake of a single pronoun, that I wasn't really fit to work as a doctor. Now, in my previous work in accident and emergency and my subsequent work, we're saving people every day and their lives. And essentially, that's not even considered to be relevant compared to the fact that somebody might get the wrong pronoun at some point. There was a very small risk of that happening at the time, but essentially, so concerned were they that somebody might be offended by my actions, that all of my experience, all of my years as a doctor counted for nothing, and my Christian conscience counted for nothing, and that bothered me the most.
That's the crux of the matter, though, isn't it? That they might be offended by your Christian faith, and it's your faith that you are adhering to by not going along with their compelled speech.
Yes, and this is where the court cases really were concerning. The court cases, when we take the government to court over the issue of pronouns, the first case ruled that because I didn't believe in transgender ideology, and by extension, we all have to believe in transgender ideology, therefore I didn't have any case to stand. That transgender ideology must be believed and acted upon by every doctor, nurse, or whoever. The second court case said, no, that was wrong. I'm entitled to be a Christian. I'm entitled to believe that it's a lie to use a transgender pronoun, and I'm entitled to say that I'm not going to. But they went on to say that the Equalities Act didn't protect me. Now, I would argue we're Christians, there's lots of us, we're still here, we've been here for a very long time, we're not going anywhere. That if the Equalities Act can't protect the Christian faith, it can't protect anything. And that's my concern, that the Equalities Act has to protect everybody, because we're in a situation where we have a conflict of views and interests. So I think this is a really important battle to fight, and that's why we're taking it to the European Court of Human Rights.
And what do you hope to achieve from the ECHR?
Well, I hope that the European Court of Human Rights, I'm going there with the Christian Legal Centre, and I'm hoping that they will say that you have a free conscience, you're free to believe, not necessarily what I believe, other people are able to believe what they believe, and I'm free to act as well, that nobody can compel me to speak in a certain way, that no one can compel me to do what I believe is fundamentally a lie. So I'm hoping that the European Court of Human Rights will uphold freedom of speech and freedom from false speech. Freedom to believe and freedom to act in that way.
As a doctor, do you feel that your Christian faith is in conflict with science, or is this in conflict with another set of beliefs, which you have called the gender ideology?
Well, I've never felt that my Christian faith was in conflict with science at all. But I do believe that that science and theology combine when they say that it's impossible for a human being to change sex. So, and I think that the medical profession has a duty to say that to its patients. Sound medical care, proper medical care begins with truth. If we care about our patients, and most of the doctors I work with do, we can't start from a foundation which is not sustainable philosophically, logically, theologically, scientifically. We have to start with the truth, and whatever that truth is, then that is how we must present ourselves to our patients. To me, that is the mark of a caring doctor. It is not the mark of a caring profession when we simply go along with what is not scientific, but is a pure ideology. The idea that there might be 150 genders, the idea that we should each have pronouns of our own choosing, the idea that I could be a cat and you'd have to treat me as a cat.
You laugh, but that's happening in a school right now. There's a young girl that's identified as a cat, and the teachers are having to tell the boys to stop barking at her. We're going crazy. But Dr. David Mackereth, thank you so much for your common sense.
That's right. And I was speaking with a girl just a month ago who says she's about to marry a man who identifies as a pig.
I just can't.
Now, let's cut to the bone on this. Let's go right to the core of this and say this, that gender ideology combined with Build Back Better, WF, that sort of stuff, these things coming together, I believe, are causing our society to disintegrate. I don't believe you can have a scientific, technical, professional, medical profession which practices a lie just to keep some kind of political ideology alive. So these issues are really, really important. You understand the situation with Joshua Sutcliffe, where he lost his, he was struck off as a teacher for the sake that in 2.5 years he might have used the wrong pronoun.
He's a fantastic guy fighting the good fight, and so are you, Dr. David Mackereth. Thank you for fighting the good fight. Unfortunately, time has come to an end, but thank you so much for what you're doing. You have my full support. God bless you.